Hi there, welcome to another painting tutorial. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can paint this red squirrel. So let's get started. I have some black, some Vandyke Brown, a milk chocolate, terracotta, orange, and then a beige color paint. And these are just craft paint. And let's start with a larger brush. I have a size 9 filbert. So I want to get the brush wet and I'm going to mix up a base color with the terracotta and the beige paint. And I'm going to put that on the squirrel. And if you want to paint along with me, just get the sketch in the description and you can download it, print it out, transfer it onto your canvas or your paper. And then I would love for you to paint along with me. And I just want to get this base color down as like a wash and an underpainting. I'm adding the beige because I don't want it to be too dark to begin with. Trying to add enough water to kind of get a nice flow of the paint. And then for the tail, I'm kind of using the edge of my brush to kind of flick my brush strokes. I'm moving my brush rather in the direction of form. So I'm kind of curving down in this S shape as the tail comes down. And the sketch should still kind of show through this nice wash, so that can help you kind of get your bearings and figure out what is supposed to go where. And then when you get to the feet, you could switch to a smaller brush if you wanted to. That could kind of make it a little bit easier to get around those tiny little areas. Okay, and then just try to cover up all of the white spots and pieces of the paper. And you can turn your paper as needed to make some of those edges a little bit easier to get cleaner strokes. Okay, so that's a nice base layer. I'm going to rinse my brush and then I want to take the straight terracotta color and add in some kind of shadows and darker tones. So I want a darker shade here, kind of underneath, we could make it a little darker. And right here where you have the line that kind of goes between the tail and the body, you can make that darker. And we could make the center of the tail have a darker color. And then I'm going to kind of define this line here for the arm. And I'm going to put a darker value under his chin. So we're just kind of going around and seeing where the shadows might be. You can kind of go over some of your sketch lines to do that as well. Put a little bit of a dark color here. Just trying to build form here and give the appearance of a three-dimensional look. And just think about shadows. What pieces are going to be in shadow to give this some three-dimensionality. Just kind of strategic little strokes. Okay, and then notice there isn't a huge difference between the shadow color and that base color. That's going to help just make things look a little more subtle. You don't want to go in with a really harsh dark color for the shadow. And I can kind of take a damp brush with minimal paint and just kind of feather some of that around. Okay, so we have some nice form going on here. And now I want to take a detailed brush. So I have a size 0 spotter. And I'm going to take some of this brown color. It's a very dark brown. It's my Vandyke Brown. You could use raw umber as well. And I want to put some dark color here in between the toes. And then let's do that to some other areas. So between the fingers. Okay, and then I want to do that along the mouth. So just carefully put thin black or brown, dark brown line along that mouth. And then we can put that on the base of the nose. And I'm going to put it around the eye. And then I'm going to go into the ear. I'm just going to kind of shape that ear over here. Then I'm going to go inside this ear. Okay, and then I might kind of bring this line here on the face out a little bit. So I probably need some fresh paint because you can see it's a little bit clumpy. I'm just going to go around this shadow, kind of darken that underneath the chin. I can kind of bring this line out under the chin as well. Okay, so just some, might come down here and emphasize this line. So just some really dark values and some little strategic places. Okay, and then I'm going to take the straight black and I'm going to use that to go into the eye. Okay, and then that's should dry a little bit. Okay, so now I'm going to have this brush. It's called a rigger brush. This is a size 1. So I want to get some of these fun little hair pieces that this squirrel has. So I'm going to take this terracotta orange and I want to roll that brush in the paint like so. And then let's see if we can get some little hairs going here. So just try to make them very random and sporadic. Let's do it for the tail. This is a great brush for this. Gives you really fine lines. You just have to get the right amount of paint on the end of your brush and then make sure everything is flowing. Just kind of go around and see if you can make some of these beautiful little strokes for the hair. something like that. All right, so now let's take some white paint, and we're going to take the size 6 filbert. And I need to add some white to my palette. And then let's put the white in some strategic areas. So I want to go around this ear. And then the mouth. I carefully go underneath the mouth and then carefully go on top. And then kind of up here around the nose. Okay, I can come down here on the cheek. And then let's go around, let's carefully go around the eye. And then we're gonna go in this kind of chest area. And I'm thinking about kind of making a fur shape for this. And in between the hands and down through the belly, we'll add a little bit of white fur. And I'm just kind of stroking the brush so that it makes kind of a fur type of texture. And then I'm thinking about some highlighted areas. So this is not where the white fur is going to be, but this is just going to be a lighter value of the orange. So you can come around and kind of place that in different areas where you want highlight to be on the body. So you could put a little bit down here. Maybe in the tail we have some lighter strokes. Okay. So we'll let that dry. As that's drying, I'm gonna take, oh, we could use the same size brush. So let's take some of this chocolatey brown color and then carefully see if we could just put in that little branch that he's sitting on. So I'm just gonna leave it like that. It's pretty loose and not very exact for that area. Okay, I want to take that spotter, size 0, with a little bit of white paint and pop in that eye. That little highlight in the eye. And then I want to try to bring some of it down to make a little bit of an iris to show through. Okay, and then I'll take that size 6 and see if you can get some of that orange, bright orange paint and a little bit of water to make a glaze. And then carefully see if you can go over some of these white areas that you don't want to be bright white. It's just a nice glaze, and that's going to make things look nice and three-dimensional. That bright orange is just going to really pop and show through really nicely. Put that in the tail. You can see how it's just really brightening up the piece. That's why I like working with glazing and putting white underneath at certain times. Okay, so you could call that finished if you would like. I think we'll call that done. So that's a really fun painting of a little red squirrel in acrylic paint. I hope you give this a try. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye!